All right, good morning, everyone. It's the first day of the vlog. I'm here with my wife, Millie, and we are in a war zone at home because 3 of the 5 children have chickenpox. We're about to go to, well, she's not coming. She's going to stay in the war zone. I'm about to go to the away day. I'm very excited. We've got all the team all gathered together to talk through the business, what we're going to be doing, share our new manifesto, which is an initiative we've been working on, some policies, which should hopefully get everyone quite excited and happy. And it's going to be a lot of fun. After that, promptly back to the war zone to join. How are you doing? Good. Good. Okay, we're good. Tip top. Great. Let's go. I was going to get an Uber, but then Uber wouldn't find me something. I'm actually reviewing one of the videos. Let me show you. One of the videos I got sent by my editor, which is great. A lot of my time is spent doing things like this, really. Reviewing things. This is the video I just got sent. I can do it while I'm on the move. It's about Cortez, who made $58 million last year, which is insane. It's just a bit of a sort of story time about Clint, who's the founder, how he did what he did, etc. My one note is that I think these photos should cycle through at the start, because I think it's really sick. My editor's amazing. He's based in the Philippines, and he's just insane. Like, he turns that stuff around every day, just so reliable, so on it. He'll be editing this as well. Hopefully he hears the nice words. And yeah, what I care about really as a founder, because it means that you can get your story out there, but also more than anything, it means that you're visible to people. Being in people's heads is such a powerful way to build a business, because people just remember you. And when people are consuming so much stuff, they've got so many things going on, the more present you can be, the more mind share you can take up, the better. So I'm a big fan of that, and it's a big reason why I do all the videos that I do. I thought as I'm walking, I could explain a little bit about exactly what point of this away morning is. It's not really an away day, it's an off-site morning. And the point of it is because we're starting the year with a much bigger team than we started last year. Last year it was really just Joe and me, and now there's about 15 people. It's a much bigger business, and we're doing so many amazing projects. And I think, like, when you're growing really quickly and when so much stuff is happening as it is, it's really important to take stock, to set everything, make sure that the tone is set for the year. Because I think if you don't do that, sometimes what can happen is everyone can start running around doing what they do, and you lose sight of what the collective purpose is. And I think for me, as a leader of this business, from a culture and business perspective as a CEO, like, my job is to make sure that the people are aligned and that there's a sense of unity and a sense of purpose in terms of what we're trying to build. So that's the aim really of today, is to set that purpose, is to show the business, is to show what we're trying to achieve, why we're here, what we're setting out to build, right? That everybody is aligned, hopefully everyone is excited, and from there we can then go together as the year goes on. But I think if we didn't do this, it'd be very difficult to have that alignment. So that's why we're here. I'm very excited about it. I think it's needed, and the reason why we've waited until the 19th rather than doing it in the first or second week is because Connor, who's our new head of original video, he's just started. He needs to be here as well, so that's why we've done it this week. Otherwise it would have been probably first week back. So yeah, needed, excited, it'll be great. Today, one thing I'm going to be doing is sorting out community service. So community service is the Substack that I write with Grace Andrews, the amazing Grace Andrews, every week. What we're going to be doing on the train is trying to find topics to talk about today. So the way it works is me and Grace jump on and we'll basically brainstorm, get all of that transcript, got sort of juice and the sauce that we collectively put into it, and then we take that and turn that into the newsletter. So it's very raw, it's like real conversation. I think it's a great process and way of doing it, but what it does mean is needing to find some good inspo. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. Let me flip around so you can see. A lot of my process, to be honest, is going on like Instagram, seeing if there's any stories which I've sort of seen over the week. I think one thing which is interesting actually is the Victoria Beckham, Brooklyn Beckham stuff, just because there is something in that around being in the limelight, being a creator, etc. The other thing as well actually that we could talk about, which is I think is amazing, is JJ, so KSI over here obviously. He went to India and did a tour with a bunch of Indian creators, and I think it was an amazing example of like the global mindset of content. Like, if you can be global in the way that you approach it. I mean, if you look at some of the numbers here, right, when you focus on a bit of a different audience, 416,000 likes on that post. This one here, 553,000 likes. Some amazing numbers from this, and even now, right, some of the collaborations he did, this one 184,000 likes. And actually I think it's an amazing example of how somebody can think globally actually, and when you think globally as a creator, you unlock totally new audiences. When I'm at Old Street, always take the stairs. I always take the stairs. I don't know why I do it, but I do it. And I feel better for it. Don't know why, don't ask me. XOY was coming back. Now, for anyone who is from London, you'll understand that XOY was an institution. Odd nights, but sometimes fun nights. I remember once, back in the day, seeing, of all people, Anderson .Paak before he blew up in XOY when I was working at Vice or Lab Bible, I think. Things like that. You just got some crazy nights. I mean, crazy times there. But it's been brought back. And what's interesting is the guys who are bringing it back have done such an amazing job, because their whole game is to think like a creator. So they've been documenting the whole process. It's like the perfect case study. Like any business looking to launch or make a moment in something, especially in something that's culturally got some appeal, like follow these guys. They're killing it. Right, we're nearly here. so today the off-site off morning is actually at the Hoxton, which is around the corner from where I am right now. The Hoxton is a hotel, but they've also got an amazing sort of venue space at the back, like super decent price, wasn't too bad to hire it out. We're going to be there for the next few hours talking all things arcade. Interestingly, me and Millie actually had our wedding party there back in 2019, where we had the floor as well. So we know the space well. Here it is. This is the Hoxton. Found it, we made it. In here to the right. Yeah, this is where me and Millie had our wedding thing. So we know the space, I'm saying. It's very nice. So thank you for coming. This was a bit impromptu. I think we called it, or we put the date in the calendar, probably November last year, mid-November. And the idea really is because we need to set the tone, I think, for the year. It was getting very abundant. The things were getting busy. It's a good problem to have, but everyone was sort of running off, doing a million and one things. Obviously, Formula E, Sky Sports, all sorts. Obviously, Zeb's in South Africa, Jev's in wherever, doing filming with Will and E. Like, it's all moving at pace, which is an amazing problem to have. All right, so we've just finished the away day. Everyone's having breakfast. It's late for breakfast, but having breakfast next door. It went really well. Feels like they set the tone. This is like an amazing group of people, and we have an unbelievable opportunity here to build something really, really cool. And we're just getting started, so who knows what this is going to look like in a year from now, but I think it's going to be double, triple the size, which is amazing and very, very exciting. So yeah, hopefully it went down well, hopefully everyone liked it. I think they did, but who knows? On to the next. Right, so there we go. We're all done. We're heading back to the chickenpox war zone that is our house at the minute. I'm very glad with how that went. I think if there's one thing getting everyone together like that, it shows that we're a proper company. We're a collective. We're doing this for each other, right? And we're trying to build something that is meaningful and has impact. And hopefully that came across. Hopefully that was felt by the team. What's really exciting is we have a proper team. Like a year ago, it was just Joe. Now we are building something that I think will become an immensely meaningful and exciting business. And I'm very happy that we've got to get together today. So yeah, great result. To top this all off, we have also launched a business this week, which is amazing creator access, which basically provides brands the access to buy ads around YouTube channels, right, at a premium level. So Cyberman channels on there, a bunch of others will go on there as well. So this is like a huge thing for the industry. It's a bit nerdy and technical, but basically it means that if you're a brand, you can now buy YouTube channels like you can buy TV through us, which is amazing. I'm very excited. So I'll just do my LinkedIn post on that now. Sam did his on yesterday, blew up. Who's going to get more likes? I think he'll get more likes. He's got like 250 likes. I did really well. I think he'll probably beat me today, but let's see. Super excited. Another milestone for the Arcadians. Big week. Right, and now we head to do the school run. Chickenpox madness is here. Hey Millie, say hello. Yeah, so we're back again as we started the day, and the treadmill continues. How is the chickenpox? Thriving. They're not thriving. They're covered, but that means progress because it means it's nearly done. All right, good evening, everybody. The day's done. The kids are all asleep, and we go again tomorrow. A few thoughts really on what was, I think, a very successful offsite, and I think why it's so important for leaders to try and bring teams together. The reason is because when you have growth and you have people who are busy in the trenches, in the weeds, doing what they're doing, it is so important, I believe, to bring everyone back again and again and again. And it's a learning that I carry personally with me from when I was at YMU, which was really good at doing this. And to have that cadence of away days, of offsites, of bringing teams back, just massively helps to keep everyone aligned. Because if people aren't rowing in the same direction, what business do you have? What success are you going to have? And that growth will just lead to people going off in their own lanes, going off in their own worlds, and getting frustrated because they end up chugging along and then looking back and saying, well, what was the point in all of that? Why did I bother? But not just why did I bother, but why are we actually here? What's the point of all of this? And I think having that sense of purpose and ultimately that sense of unity is so fundamental from teams I've been in before that have done well and done less well. So it was great. And I think for anyone, there's a few things. If you're a leader in any role you're in, if you're building something, if you're running a team, just bring people back to the why again and again and again. There's a classic saying, which is that repetition is the mother of learning. And I really believe it is. But also I believe that when you're building something, it's very easy to forget to repeat again and again and again. Yeah, it's been a great day, and we're on to the next tomorrow. Hey guys, welcome back to another day. Today's gonna be a bit of a different day. We've got a bunch of calls. Had a big call this morning with one of the biggest sort of startup companies in the country. I couldn't jump on because I was running behind because of all the chickenpox madness, but Seb took the lead and hopefully smashed out the park. I'm sure he did. We've then got a number of meetings today. So I'm meeting with a couple of creators, a couple of groups. Conno, obviously, as we know, started yesterday as our head of original video. We're meeting with a bunch of potential partners to be hopefully launching some great shows and channels with. So that's on the list. What else is going on today? And then back to the madness of chickenpox. That, like, the one thing I'll say is, having with 5 kids now, there is statistically always something that's a problem. That's what I've realized, right? 5 kids, all fine when everyone's good. When they get ill, it becomes just chaos. There's so many of them that are ill that I just can't stay here for too long today. I'm gonna have to go back, so I'll be going back this afternoon. And then basically after that, we've got a board meeting this evening, actually at 9 o'clock, like a small kind of mini board. So we do once a month board meetings, but we're gonna have a mini board on the phone. I have to probably do it in the car, in the Tesla, my magnet thing, like put my phone on, but that'll be fine. It needs charging anyway. And that's gonna be the day. Hopefully it should be interesting to watch. It's pouring with rain outside. It is not overly pleasant. I'm in a phone booth in the office, in like the communal space, just because I thought I'd come in here and have a moment. It's quite peaceful in these booths because they're so well soundproofed. It's very quiet. We're just gonna crack on with everything that's going on. There's so much happening. It's crazy right now. As you would have seen with the offsite yesterday, like Arcade's just in a position now of abundance in terms of opportunity, which is an amazing position to be in. But it just does require like a head, moments of just calm, where else your head just goes off in a million and one different places.
Appealing to just one market, whereas in English it's every market, right? So from the off, that would be the first point of call for me.
With the creator access partner sales side as well, like if we were to almost take the process, turn the process into content, and then use the content on the ads around the game as well, there's like a really nice kind of, the impressions are hundreds of millions, if not billions for a game. So we just had a call. Me and Colin just met an amazing creator who we're thinking about working with, who I think will be amazing and so good for what we're looking to do on the originals front. Super exciting, so that's all done. We just had a call with a manager of a bunch of incredible creators as well, talk about similar thing, which is again, I think super exciting. More to be revealed on that front. And I just had a call with a brand as well, one of the biggest startups building in Europe. They're looking to potentially work with the Sidemen as well as myself and Think Like a Creator. So we're talking through plans and proposals and what can be done. So that's also super exciting. And then now I need to go sit with Colin. We're going to work out a plan to present to the creator that we met earlier. I'm also going to meet Phil, who is the marketing director for XX Vodka. He's down from Birmingham. A lot going on, guys. It's a lot going on. Busy day. I'll try and for as much as possible. Keep forgetting because it's one thing after another, it seems. But all really good stuff. An amazing set of things already today that's been kicking on. So yeah, so good. Alright, I'm done here for now. I need to now head back in a cab to go home. It's dramas with the many chickenpoxy children. So I'm gonna get an Uber now and then do a call in the cab. I literally spend half my life doing calls in cabs or walking. And it just literally is what it is. So it's 11:32 in the evening. I've just eaten about half an hour ago. We've had a board meeting this evening as well, 9 o'clock to 10, which was fun. Mixed it up a little bit, did it in the car. Totally forgot to film it because I was a bit late. But we had to drive like round the corner because the signal was so bad for some reason, I think because of the rain. So I had to drive around the corner and then do it with the lights in the top of the car. But I have a little magnet that goes on the side of the screen. So it actually worked all right. And it was really good. Talked about some of the stuff we're looking to do and actually cemented how good the strategy that we're planning and plotting is, which is it's really coming together. Big focus on IP, big focus on new channels, co-creation. Everything about it is coming together like really, really well. So I had our partners Lumina on the call, Pete, our chairman, Sam, myself. It was great. And now I am downloading the episode of Think Like a Creator with John Ellis because Josh is in between Silverstone, a bunch of other projects, so he's not got the Wi-Fi to do it. So I'm doing it now. And then I'm going to upload it and then we're going to get the episode live tomorrow. And it did just get me thinking a bit tonight actually about like the nature of work when you have a family obviously and when you're trying to juggle things. And I think it's finding a job like this or finding a business that you could start which really gives you the freedom to make it work around your time as you need it to work. Like it's 11:34. I've had an amazing day doing all sorts, home, kids, work, meetings, but it doesn't stop as such. It doesn't have a hard cutoff. It's like a flow that's so varied and always changing that it's so entertaining and so fun to be in all day, every day. And I'm very blessed and happy to do what I do because of that. I never begrudge it at any time. And then you get to the point where you just have to go to bed because it gets too late. But we're not there yet, so we keep going. Day 2, done.
Good morning, and we're going again. Day 3, we're meeting a company called Hub Creative who represents some amazing talent. I met them a few weeks ago before I started the vlogs actually, and they look after some great creators in the space. One being Bella James, who was on my show, Think Like a Creator. Amazing Formula 1 creator who's doing some brilliant stuff. Matthew Pincus is an Arsenal fan, big fan of him. He's amazing. I think one of the best storytellers actually on Instagram at the moment. So good. He has the respect of players, fans alike, because his storytelling's just second to none. Like, go check out his videos. So we're just by Hamleys. Let's spin this round. It's always fun here. How do I spin this thing around? There we go. I don't know, honestly. Fair play to these guys. They really know what they're doing. There we go. I'm not going to Hadley's though. That is not happening. Cole Anderson, obviously one of the biggest creators in the UK at the moment. So they've got a great roster. So we're meeting with them to talk about potential development projects, IP, things they might want to be doing. We've also got a few other calls. I was going to have another meeting in person, but the person I was going to meet had challenges. I think one of the kids off sick, so I had to stay at home. So we'll go. So I've been moved to a call. And then I've been thinking a bit today actually about how when things ramp up, when you have such high volume of activity, sometimes everything just drops at once. I feel like that's what we're having at the moment. The team are also working at the minute on obviously charity match and selling that, and they've been working on it for a long time. And it's one of those things where everything seems to be coming at once. There's just an onslaught of opportunity at the minute. And I think our biggest challenge, and it's one for every founder, is to learn what to say no to. I think that's going to be our biggest challenge. What do we say no to? What do we say yes to? How do we make sure that we don't get totally burnt out by just doing everything? That's going to be our challenge. It's a great problem to have, but I can feel it is not going to slow down anytime soon. Had to go to Oxford Street as well. I had to pick this up for Millie, and then I'm going back now to King's Cross to meet Hub Creative, and we'll take it from there. Peace. Everything I'll say, wireless headphones, a must. Can never go back to AirPods after this. £90, thank me later. This is an insight into what I do, right? So when I'm walking anywhere, I'm usually always, I need to be careful because my phone's probably going to get robbed one of these days, but I'm usually always on my phone writing something, whether that's community service, whether that's LinkedIn posts, whether that's whatever content it might be. My book, spoiler, my book that I'm working on, didn't hear that from me. I'm always writing. This is the most important tool that I have, my phone, because if I couldn't do that and I'd be missing out on all these little gaps in time when I'm going between meetings, I'd be totally screwed. This is most of my day, walking to meetings, walking to places and writing and doing stuff on my phone. I just need to, that's why I have this little side, you can't see it, this little side bag down there, put it in there because this thing gets robbed, I'm finished, I'm cooked. Please everyone, please don't rob me, please. All right, we have about 5 minutes or so before the next meeting, so I'm just literally going to put this bag in my other bag and I'm going to sit down for a minute and try and work on a LinkedIn post. I'm going to be talking today about the BBC and their news, which I think is really good news, that they are making exclusive shows for YouTube. I think this is like way overdue and something which they could have done a long time ago. They should have done a long time ago, but nonetheless, I'm really glad they're doing now. I was invited to speak at the BBC Content Leaders Day last year to all of the senior people in the BBC, and basically my message was exactly this. It was that they need to be focusing on content aggressively in order to win on YouTube, right? They need to be going more YouTube first because you're not going to compete with the audience that's gone. In fact, basically, the audience has left the linear party, as we know. You need to be focused really on iPlayer, in my mind, and YouTube, and both complement each other. iPlayer is the home for longer form BBC content that should really sit behind some kind of paywall, which I think in time they'll do. Well, they should do if they scrap the license fee, but for now the license fee can subsidize it. And then YouTube becomes the home for connecting with Gen Z and younger audiences, and the two things work side by side. And if that's done, it'll be very effective. If it's not done, I think it'll struggle to keep relevance. So I'm really happy about this news. I'm writing a post right now about exactly that. I'm going to try to get it up. So watch this space. Just finished a meeting with Hub Creative, which was really good and went well. Now I am heading to Finsbury Park, but I realised I have a call, so I'm jumping on the call right now with Sam and Pete. Now I've got to do that and then get a cab probably and then go back to Finsbury Park. We'll work it out. Built really good infrastructure, which I think has always been the thing in this world, as I'm sure again you'll know, that is often challenged is infrastructure. So I think we've now got that with the investment. Everything's providentially worked out incredibly well for us in terms of like us being able to build the foundation to now create, I think, a really exciting business within the space. A wrap. So that was just a call with a contact of mine who runs a successful CPG business, potentially talking about if there's a world of partnering more closely with them and helping them and them helping us, which is an interesting one. And I think we're kind of done. We've done a lot of walking, done a lot of yapping. Another good day. Now back to the madhouse. One thing as well that I've been thinking about, and I just did a post about it on LinkedIn, is around the BBC and their move towards YouTube, which I think is in such an interesting one. And thinking back to when I spoke at the BBC Content Leaders Day in February, I think it was last year, and I raised the alarm to them around like, look, this is where attention's moving, this is how serious this is. It's at your own peril if you neglect it. And the reception was really good, to be fair. And now what's so good is to see that they followed through and they've gone and done it, which is cool. So fair play to them. For those who don't know, they've signed a deal with YouTube, which, well, not really a deal, they basically entered into an agreement with YouTube whereby they're going to make content for YouTube only rather than for the BBC channels, which is I think a good sign of things to come, right, for the platform, but also shows that attention shifted and you have to move with the
time or you die. And I think the BBC know that. So yeah, exciting times.
Right, it's the final day of the week. I'm here in a place called Silvio's, just by Selfridges, literally opposite Selfridges. Basically today, had like a couple of curveballs yesterday. We had someone come try to fix the boiler, very boring. Then they were there too late, they couldn't finish it. They have to come back today, spend the whole day at our house. So the house is freezing, so we just decided to get out. I'm like working opposite Selfridges, Millie's at Selfridges, just walking with the twins to somewhere warm. It's close to where we were. Primrose Bakery, which is her mum's cake shop where we just were this morning. So it's all right now. I had a bunch of meetings and calls and stuff today, but obviously that gets all pulled. I'm going to spend the time writing my book and working on that and picking up a bunch of other decks and projects and things we're trying to work on at the minute. So it is what it is, how life goes when you've got big family and curveballs in winter. It is what it is. And something I actually did want to talk about a bit today was around balance, like the idea of work-life balance and how we can think work to make it better for all of us. One thing that I'm really big on as now an employer and obviously somebody who is kind of responsible for creating policies and setting policies for people in companies, as I've become more obviously busier with kids, the more kids we've had, the bigger our family's got, etc. I'm definitely of the opinion that like employees should push their employers more, I think, for flexibility. It's something that I'm just definitely now realizing more and more. I think it's anti-family and it's anti-society for employers to be running slave ships in terms of strictness and tightness on how people can balance their work and their home. And of course, people are not going to have kids, have families, not going to do what they want to do in their personal lives if they feel constrained and constricted too heavily by their workplace when they're told they have to be in the office for 8, out at 7, whatever it might be, and they can't live around that. So I just think it's something that I've definitely been more sensitive to as I've become busier myself. Is like I'm in a fortunate position where as somebody who runs a company, I'm able to set policies that, and on a personal level, I'm able to be flexible. I don't have a boss who's pushing me to be in the office from 8 to 6, and do you know what I mean, as I have done in previous jobs. And I just think it's something which more employees should be more, I think, aware of, that actually like we set the tone. And if you're running a company, how can you set the tone of high trust, high freedom, high expectations for people, right? Like treat people like adults, but ultimately give them the freedom to work around themselves. And if they're excellent, they'll do even better work for you because you're being human with them, right? And I think it's something which maybe in the older corporate world, like they definitely lost. But I think as us Gen Z founders now coming up and building businesses, we can really set the tone on that. So that's one thing I think in pushing it, your bosses, your employers, make sure that work actually looks after people in their personal lives. Because I think if you don't look after people in their personal lives, how are they going to bring their best selves to work anyway, right? How are they even going to work if their lives are a mess at home, or if they don't even have a life at home because they're too busy doing whatever they're doing here? I think another thing is around how can we create as a business ourselves, how can we set the standard? I mean, we've got things now bringing in a 40k minimum wage, 27 days paid holiday, obviously flexibility in terms of the office, and use encourage people to use it, but use it as a base rather than using it or seeing it as somewhere that you have to be in from X time to Y time. We're really sort of looking at all of those things and trying to set the standard, how we make our company a pro-family and pro-life culture where we are supporting people in their lives, right? And supporting them in their private lives, personal lives, whatever it is they're trying to do, and whatever world they're trying to create for themselves. How can Arcade be a supportive space for that rather than a space which is constricting? It should be complementary to their personal lives. I really believe that. And then work-life balance becomes less of a problem for people because they're in a constant state of balance rather than like having to adjust. And ultimately then what you want is for people to be like, right, I'm so hungry and ambitious, I'm working really hard, I now need to slow down and find my balance, rather than work pushing to the extent whereby people feel that they can't breathe and their lives are a mess as a result, and then they're just going to do terrible work anyway. It's the personal thing. That's a bit of a ramble. Hopefully that makes sense, a bit about like my personal philosophy to work-life balance and how I think companies should just be better, and we should set the standard. Hopefully Arcade's going to set the standard a little bit here.
Right now I'm just walking down the street because I'm about to jump on a call, which is very exciting, with somebody from a very big institution that is doing some really interesting things on YouTube. I'm not going to tell you who, you might be able to guess. And this is going to be like the main call I'm going to be doing today. And then going back, I've got some more work to be putting in on the document that I was working on earlier. And then we're going to probably wrap it up this week for the vlog. It's been a really good week. It's been a week of a lot, like genuinely like so much intensity and momentum for the business. Right guys, that is the week done. I'm going to call the vlog here. And I wanted just to ask before I wrap it up fully, what did you think? Was that useful? Was that valuable? Was that interesting? Was it somewhat entertaining? Who would you like me to speak to? Who would you like to see more of? What do you want to know? This is the first one. This is going to be the worst it's ever going to be. I've tried to capture as much as I can amidst all the craziness. I've really enjoyed actually filming it, and I think it's something quite cathartic about like documenting as we're going. But there's one thing that I just wanted to say about this week. If I could put it into one word, it's just like real life does not stop. Real life does not stop. Babies, family, house problems, whatever it might be. Real life doesn't stop as business grows. I think it's super important that we always remember that business is for our lives. lives, not our lives for business. And if that can just be put on a wall, wherever you are, we're putting it on our wall. It's like we are making this business for us in our lives, have amazing lives, not for our lives to become totally obsessive about work to the point where we think that we can do one without the other. In reality, a good life at home creates a great working life, and the two are symbiotic. We need to remember that. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off. Have a wonderful day, weekend, whatever you're doing, whatever day this is you're watching this. And I'd love your feedback. Please let me know everything about this, because it's my first time. I'm nervous, guys. This is my first time out here, but I'm very excited to be bringing these to you, and this is gonna be the first of many. So buckle up. Peace.